EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And with the terrible towels waving wildly, we are underway from Pittsburgh. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visiting Steelers who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Pittsburgh. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
He's coming. Check in. Here we go.
Off play action. Pickett. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Pickett. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Returnable for Grant. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And some room to work. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And in 2 plays just like that, they're already operating in the red zone.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now Watson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. York able to send this one through, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Again, it's Harris on second down. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Steelers at 5-11 on the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The middle, it's Chubb. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Watson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Harrison Bryant, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins. And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Harris going to get it again on second down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Pickett's throw into the hands of Pickens. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will. Now Pickett will look to pass it. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it. But 3rd down coming up. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Finds Pickens out right. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. As an unbiased observer,
I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw brought in by Austin.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Dancing to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah
drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
Boswell's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Myles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Giving to the big tight end on 4th. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
So a chance to breathe easier now. 1st and 10 after the 4th down conversion.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
Boswell's kick is good, and that'll bring them back within 4.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
The Browns drive about to get started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
Oh, I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Now Pickett.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Myles Garrett able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack.
He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
This is the tight end, Njoku. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st down, Watson.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Watson.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. He's got room at the 30.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Picked up by DeMonte Casey.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play.
Pickett lost it.
And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing, is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Final play of the first half. Here's Pickett.
Forced out to his left.
Finding Harris on back-to-back plays.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end.
And he is going to have a Browns first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Bryant has it.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great...
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the...
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On second down, this is Harris. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Pickett back to throw.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run again with Harris. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, I didn't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Harris is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards the pickup there.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
A give running right is Chubb. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Watson now to throw.
He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun, here's Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
And he is going to have a Browns 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Back now in Pittsburgh. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. catch the ball, you know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's got room. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Calvin Austin with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the fourth, they got to be careful.
They definitely do because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
From the 31, Watson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And on the stop, Damontae Kazee. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down, Pickett.
Flush to his right.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Pickett to his tight end Freiermuth for the Steeler first.
And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
1st and 10, here's Pickett.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Harris running straight ahead. They find some open field here. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
113 yards rushing for him now as he is finishing off the regular season with a bang.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And he fires one incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
The Steelers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Pickett will look to throw it here. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
They hand this off to Harris, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 40 now on second down.
Pickett. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line.
To the air on first down with Pickett. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Here's Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. And the Steelers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Chubb running to the wide side. And some room to roam now. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.